Hi, thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Faber, and today we are going to speak about a very interesting topic. So it is intercultural communicative competence. Our group is integrated by Violi Espinosa, Iriana Bolaños, and me, Faber. I'm Faber Ramirez. Okay, so I'm going to start giving you a little bit of the introduction of this very interesting topic. So, culture is a collective narrative ready to transform itself. It tells a story that conceivably binds a group and that shares and re-signifies it. So, language, for its part, it's one of the main instruments of significations of this narrative. So its teaching and learning necessarily constitutes the cultural co-constructions of plural and polyphonic identities in every human being. So in the current process of economic and linguistic globalization, communicative competence in the foreign language, which is LE, classroom has become intercultural, quite despite the fact that the common European framework of reference creates a guidelines to delimit intercultural communicative competence as the set of skills that allow understanding and adapting to new cultures. So basically, many scholars warn of danger and of standardization of these pedagogical processes due to the ethical impossibility of framing individual and collective learning needs under a totalizing and culturally imposed paradigm. Thank you so much for paying attention. I hope I didn't get you bored. Okay, so let's move on to the concept. So now let's get into the business. So let me tell you a little bit about the concept of intercultural communicative competence. So this one is basically proposed by the author Brian as an alternative to the concept of communicative competence. This researcher defines intercultural communicative competence as the ability to understand and relate to people from other countries. That's what it said from Ryan 1997. So this skill goes beyond linguistic correctness and social-cultural appropriateness as it replaces the native speaker as a role model for the intercultural speaker. The latter will have according to Brian. So basically, therefore, the goal of LE teaching learning is no longer a foreign speaker who communicates and interacts with others as if he or she were a native speaker, but a foreign speaker who can negotiate with native speaker from a form of communication and interaction behavior satisfactory to both. So the behavior in the interaction has to be satisfactory to both parties, preserving his cultural identity while being able to make it understood by his interlocutor and to understand the interlocutor's cultural identity. To construct this concept, to construct his concept of cultural communicative competence, Brian starts from Van Keck's model of communicative competence and redefines it, considering that the target of teaching learning is the intercultural speaker rather than the native speaker. Specifically, Brian starting from Van Keck's concept of sociocultural competence. Social competence and strategic competence redefines them with contributions from social psychology and social linguistics, integrating them into a new intercultural competence. This element means an extension of Van's sociocultural competence and its reinterpretation from the point of view of the intercultural speaker. Thank you for watching this part. I hope you have enjoyed. And now let's move on to the next part. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a very good adventure.
The characteristics of intercultural communicative competence are human intention and information exchanges, communicated and related as an intercultural speaker, bicultural adaptation, heterogeneous and in constant negotiation, knowledge, attitudes and skills, autonomy in linguistic and cultural learning. According to the authors Shen and Starosta 1996 Intercultural Communicative Competence, they are manifested through three dimensions: cognitive, affective, and behavioral. Cognitive is understood as a knowledge and awareness of cultural communicative elements of one's own culture and of others. Signs in the cultural contact changes greater situation of uncertainty in communicative contact between people of the same cultural group. Affective or intercultural sensitivity is based on the integration of skills such as respect, appreciation, empathy, and acceptance of other cultures, as well as the rejection of ethnocentrism and prejudice. And finally, the behavioral one, which is developed through verbal and nonverbal skills to adapt the behavior to the situation, to the content, and the control of the interaction. Intercultural communicative competence allows us to participate actively in the interaction with people from other places who have different culture, costumes, tradition, dialect, etc. Intercultural communication helps us to establish relationships with other communities different from ours because there are different ways of thinking, and through this new knowledge is acquired and an appreciation of different and similarities that can be found in other cultures is developed. On the other hand, when developing intercultural communicative competence, we opt for attitudes of adaptation to environment by different aspects such as social, religious, political, economic, etc., which differs from the aspect for our culture. However, this enriches the cultural awareness of human being, where the application of value can be increased by accepting and processing aspects for other cultures. In addition to this, knowledge can be increased through experience with different culture, and it is here that the relevance of societies is worked without the need to point and create superior and inferior models between cultures. Likewise, having intercultural knowledge and developing communicative skills nourishes education and values by recognizing that all cultures are equal when exchanging ideas, because we learn to listen to opinions different from ours. We also understand that all culture, even if they are different, have equal opportunities and freedom of expression. We enrich empathy and knowing when the situation of other place, and we recognize that multicultural diversity becomes strength.
Hey you, I'm Favor again. So you got to the end of this video. I'm glad that you are here now. Well, I'm going to give you the conclusion now. So regarding the conclusion, I want to give you a short reflection about our topic, intercultural communicative competence. So culture is like a fish trying to understand the water. And the water is something that's surrounded by the fish all the time. So basically, becoming part of it and unable to escape from it. Culture surrounds us all the time, therefore, it is not possible to perceive it objectively. Even if we try to define culture, this definition is conditioned by our environment. So we cannot perceive the existence of culture because we are part of it. We can only notice its existence when we are confronted by something else. And the whole the whole definition we gave you is just a part of the perception that we can proceed with. But we want to give this conclusion because we consider it's important. And we want to give you an invitation to you guys so that you are able to think a little bit more about culture today. Thank you so much for watching this video and I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.